shop for summer clothes. Think pink, think pink if you want that kelp that shows. Red is dead, blue is through, green's obscene, brown's taboo, and there is not the slightest excuse for plum abuse or chartreuse. Think pink.
G'day, gorgeous. So this week I was going to talk to you about finances, and I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah, money, you know, we always talk about money. No, I don't talk about it that much. And then I've literally had the day today where it's like 3 clients haven't turned up, and it's very rare that that happens in my daily kind of working life, so it's a bit strange. And because last week I was away in training, it's kind of like, oh wow, you know, the financial coffers are getting a bit low. And it just made me think about the fact that as especially as women in business, I think, when you work in a service-based industry and you're reliant on people kind of, you know, turning up to pay for their hour of time with you, or, you know, connecting with you in whatever way they've agreed to, if they don't actually meet that obligation, what do we do? And I've had this kind of conversation before, and these days I have a cancellation policy. But often what happens then is, you know, if people don't turn up and then you hit them with a bill for the time, you often never see them again. And I think to myself, how is it that we get around this issue as women in business, or as women who run businesses? And I think it's actually an important thing to talk about. I mean, I get all of you out there, you're not all in business, but maybe it'll help you to understand what it's like for those of us who are. You know, a little bit like if I take holidays these days, I don't get paid, right? Unless I'm doing some other miraculous, wonderful thing like, you know, going to speak at an international conference or something, which is a little bit, I mean, that's a bit different. But often those sorts of things that you're doing, especially like I'm off to do one at the end of June, that's in France, and it's more about the prestige of having your name on the bill, right? It's not actually because you're getting paid for your time. So, I mean, I would have gone to that conference anyway, right? But it just kind of got me thinking, because, you know, I was in training 3 days last week, and we were talking about all of the different things that, you know, media stuff that it's possible to do. And then I started thinking about time. You know how much time I actually put into a whole bunch of things that people don't end up having to pay for. And don't misunderstand me. I'm not actually saying that. I mean, I'm not complaining about that. I actually think that I mean, I love what I do, and it's just I find it quite amazing when it all happens at once, because it usually takes people so long to get into my books that they very rarely just don't turn up, right? It's quite an unusual situation. So today, of all days, to have 3 in one day was a bit like, what's going on? It's not even a full moon. Anyway, so I just wanted to encourage any of you out there who do actually work for yourself, and, you know, do actually find it a little bit challenging and frustrating when you can't necessarily get people to understand that, you know, you need to be also paid or remunerated for your time, and that, you know, you don't have that security actually of somebody just paying you whether you're at work or not. That's the luxury of big business or government. It's really not the luxury of small businesses like me. All right, well, I hope that actually is useful to some of you and doesn't just come across like a big raving rant. It's not meant to be a rant. It just made me think about the fact that it's interesting how much self-reliance we have to actually have as women in business. All right, see you soon.
And that includes the kitchen sink. Pink, 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 pink.